In the back of the book segment tonight, the Tea Party enjoyed enormous success following the election of President Obama in 2008, helping the Republicans to gain control of the House. But in last month's election, many Tea Party candidates suffered losses, leading some to question the movement's future. New York Times reporter Trip Gabriel recently wrote, "The Tea Party might not be over, but it is increasingly clear that the election last month significantly weakened the once surging movement, which nearly captured control of the Republican Party through a potent combination of populism and fury." Joining us now from Washington, Michelle Fields, a conservative political commentator, and here in studio, Cathy, Areu, a contributing editor for the Washington Post magazine. So I go to Michelle first. Big surprise, the New York Times pronouncing once again that the Tea Party is dead.
It's absolutely false. Look, what they're saying is that it's dead because of the November election. Obama got elected after the Tea Party folks put tons of effort into not getting him elected. But actually, if anything, that's not a loss for the Tea Party. That was a loss for the Republican establishment because the Tea Party was never on board with Mitt Romney. Mitt Romney never embraced the Tea Party, so it wasn't a loss for the Tea Party. And look, obviously the Tea Party folks aren't out there protesting like they were in 2010, but they still have tremendous influence. Just look at Boehner's proposal for the fiscal cliff. It was rejected. It wasn't embraced by conservatives on Capitol Hill, and the reason why is because it doesn't meet the Tea Party philosophy of lower taxes and smaller government.
Cathy, what do you make of that? Because basically what she's saying is that the Tea Party stuck to a principle,
right,
and it was more about the Republican Party not sticking to principles.
Well, the conservatives did not back Boehner and his Plan B. It wasn't the Tea Party. Actually, the Tea Party hasn't really been discussed much with the fiscal cliff. So I don't know how anyone can give them credit. They've lost appeal. They've lost many of their supporters. In Florida right now, they're down to like a third of who they had back in 2010.
But don't you think in a way they had jobs, so they moved on? It's like that's the one the one distraction they have is that they work for a living. Unlike Occupy Wall Street.
They don't have the luxury to go out on the street and hang out in parks. Look, they have jobs, and in this economy, some of them are working 3 jobs trying to feed their family. But they still have influence. They still hold the ability to ruin a politician's career by not voting for them again. Just because they're not out protesting doesn't mean they don't have influence. If they didn't have influence, we would have a deal right now. But it's that small government, low taxes, which is preventing this deal from happening.
They have so much influence that they actually hurt the Republicans into winning back the Senate. So that is how much influence they have.
Hold them
accountable. Completely screwed over the Republican Party into not having the Senate. They have put up so many idiots that you can name what states they've lost. Reid is there, thank goodness, for a Tea Party opponent he had.
Oh my gosh. No, absolutely not. They hold Republicans accountable.
Okay.
They hold Republicans accountable, so they don't come to Capitol Hill, they don't come to D.C. and start raising taxes. They don't.
They are killing the very party that they supposedly
But wait a minute. This is you can't be weak and kill a party at the same time, Cathy. The New York Times is saying oh, look, they're on their way out. Meanwhile, they are controlling a party. Here's what I don't get.
I'm saying they're losing influence. They are weakening, and I think that's what the article was about. They are losing their influence. They had it at a time. They were strong. The party is dying down. The numbers are dying down.
But look at some of the leaders. Some of the Tea Party folks. Rand Paul. Rand Paul is a star in the conservative movement. So to say that they have no influence and that they're dying out is absolutely false.
I think it's wishful thinking, Cathy, on the New York Times part, because the conditions that brought about the Tea Party aren't going away. So even if the Tea Party by name doesn't come back, there is still going to be that belief that there needs to be change.
The Tea Party just gave a name to a movement that was going to happen no matter what. People were not happy with the way the country was going, and they just jumped onto this wave that was happening. They named the wave. They didn't create the wave. So it's just a name that was given.
I think we're going to see a resurgence. With this fiscal cliff, I think we're going to see a resurgence of the Tea Party.
They've been absent so far. Where are they? They're not here for the fiscal cliff, so where are they?
Yes, they are. They're working.
I haven't seen them.
They don't have to be out protesting. They don't have to sit in a park and do nothing and play the drums. They're out in their community doing work. They're calling their congressmen. That's why you haven't seen a deal, because they're holding their members accountable.
They're a concept. They're not a party. They're a concept.
I mean, I find this interesting in the fact that the way the Tea Party is, if you're on the right, and you believe in a principle, you're seen as extreme. If
Yeah.
you are on the left and have a principle, you're seen as courageous. Like Occupy Wall Street, which had a potpourri of principles that didn't make any sense. If the obituary is on the Tea Party, then shouldn't Occupy Wall Street be on life support? Where are they besides jail?
Exactly.
I would call them radicals. I would call Tea Party members radicals.
Well, you're honest.
Radicals for
The Tea
what?
Party.
Trying to reduce the debt? Is that some radical idea that you don't want to create a government that's so bloated?
They're not trying
Why
to
is
reduce
that so
the debt
radical?
right now.
That they don't
They're trying to secede from like the U.S. government. They're coming up with crazy ideas every day.
Come on, get out of here. Don't be so intellectually dishonest. Get out of here.
Yeah, okay.
You know, I always have this test. If you are like, if you're staying in a hotel and you have to share a bathroom with somebody, who would it rather be, a Tea Party supporter or an Occupy Wall Streeter? Be
Obviously
honest.
a Tea Party supporter. If I had Occupy Wall Street, I would need a rape prevention tent, because isn't that what they had? And suddenly there are these great people, and the Tea Parties are tons of radicals and idiots, as you call them.
All right, I got to go.